What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And I got a kind of current events type of an NBA video for you today. I noticed this came out on, I believe it was CBS Sports, their Instagram. And they were actually putting out here talking about, you know, the teams that their own power rankings. Well, I didn't necessarily agree, so I wanted to share with you guys mine. Alright, don't forget to leave a like on this video for sure, and to also subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and if you haven't clicked that notifications bell, do that as well. So here's their power rankings. So this is CBSSports.com. I don't know who all voted on this or whatever, but they have the Warriors number 1, they have the Celtics number 2, the 76ers number 3, the Raptors 4, the Rockets 5. Whoa, what's going on with that? 6, Spurs. I don't even know about that either. 7, Utah. 8, Pelicans. I don't know. Oklahoma City 9th, and LeBron and the Lakers 10th. Some of this I'm really kind of scratching my head about. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy and maybe I'll see different once the season starts. I don't know. But for right now, I'm feeling like I'm really not understanding what they're doing here. So, like I said, I had to put together my own so that we could, this is it's a debate. That's what it is. It's always about that. That's what drives sports. If y'all just didn't know, that's where we go. So my number 10 team, I'm counting down. I'm gonna count down from 10 to 1. My number 10 team is the Toronto Raptors. Now, I don't feel like this team is really still ready to contend. I just don't. I feel like I don't know what they're going to necessarily get from Kawhi. I don't know how plugged in he'll be. I don't know how the chemistry on that team is going to work with Kawhi not really wanting to be there. I mean, if you look at their team, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green probably starts as shooting guard. Kawhi is going to be at the 3, Serge Ibaka's at the 4, and Giannis Valanciunas at the 5. It's still a strong starting 5. You got Pascal Siakam coming off the bench, OJ Anunoby, DeLon Rice, CJ Miles, still a strong team, but I don't know. I just feel like chemistry is going to hold that team back. Number 9. Now, speaking of chemistry issues, I could easily say that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to have some chemistry issues, because we've already heard about some potential issues between Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns. I think that is going to kind of work itself out over the course of this season. And the quality of this starting 5 is going to really start to show. Jeff Teague, Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, Karl Anthony Towns. I do think they're going to need somebody to step up a little bit big at the 4. I don't know what they're still going to get from Gibson. He definitely is getting a little bit older there. But I love Derrick Rose coming off the bench and an opportunity in a system he knows with the ability to just score. Before he tweaked his ankle last year, he was doing really well in the role. I'm excited to see what he does this year. Number 8, I got Oklahoma City. I think that Oklahoma City has a chance to be really good this year, actually. I mean, the biggest reason why I feel like they have a chance to be really good is it's not even because of the guy that's here. Russell Westbrook's going to be Russell Westbrook, which I don't think necessarily is a winning type of a point guard. But Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench as a scorer and as just a guy to be on the floor with the second unit. You got Robertson coming back from an injury. That defense they really missed. And Nerlens Noel backing up Steven Adams. This team got deep, along with bringing Paul George back. I'm telling you, I'm looking like, hey, you never know what could really go on with this Thunder team. Paul George coming back is a big deal for them. Obviously, it was the biggest deal. But what we really need to look at is this depth. They have a starting level point guard on the bench coming behind Russell Westbrook. If they're in a situation where they can't afford to have Robertson on the floor because offensively he's a challenge, you could have Westbrook and Schroeder on the floor. Yeah, the guards are small, but Westbrook obviously plays bigger than he is. And both the guys are pretty decent defenders. Then you got Nerlens Noel coming off the bench. And don't let Terrence Ferguson show some growth. Oklahoma City could be a problem. They could be a problem, right? Number 7, and this is subject to go higher. It is, because you cannot measure that guy's impact. You cannot simply say, oh, well, LeBron is going to be the best power forward, or he's going to whatever position he plays. You can't just say that, right? He accounts for more than one position. They have a lot of veterans on this team. I like the mental makeup of this team, and I know that sounds funny because we're talking about a team with JaVale McGee and Lance Stevenson, but I think that they're going to be a tough team, and I like the versatility that they have pretty much at almost every single position. Lonzo and Rajon Rondo, they got to figure that out at point guard. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Lance Stevenson, and LeBron. That's the biggest thing, LeBron. When has he not been on a team that was a threat? I'm just saying. At 6, you got the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell is a legit superstar waiting to happen. It's gonna happen this year. I think we're looking at a guy who's going to put in 25, 26 a game this year coming up. He's going to have that type of season. You know, obviously, as long as he stays healthy. I do think that Ricky Rubio's improved shooting is something that's definitely going to help them. But they're really strong across the front line too, with Favors, Gobert, and Joe Ingles. I don't know about their depth in the front court. Jay Crowder was much better when he got to Utah than he was with Cleveland, but I'm not sure about what goes on there. And also their point guard situation, Dante Exum. I don't know if this is what he is. I guess that's it. But you know, number 5, I just couldn't help but put the Spurs, still have them high because Popovich is still one of the best coaches in the league. And it's not, I mean, DeMar DeRozan is a heck of a player. I mean, he's not Kawhi, but he's a heck of a player. If they get him to buy in and to really, really defend with his size, strength, and athleticism, you already got an absolute beast of a defender at point guard. They already had the best defense in the NBA pretty much last year. It could be even better, you know. And don't sleep on Jakob Poeltl in the middle behind Pau Gasol. Don't sleep on that because that could be significant too. So I don't know. I'm not too down on the Spurs. Number 4, I got the 76ers. I think they take a big time jump this year. They already made a big jump last season. I think they make another big jump here. They didn't do really anything groundbreaking in free agency. I think acquiring Wilson Chandler will help them with depth there. Acquiring Mike Muscala will help them with depth there. It's another shooter as well, which is something that they need. But you know, the biggest or the most important player on their team right now in terms of their bottom line to me is going to be Markelle Fultz. What do you get from Markelle Fultz? If you can get something big from him and he can show real promise like a number 1 overall pick, and we don't know what's going to be with the 76ers. They could be even higher than 4. Number 3, I got the Rockets. I have no idea what CBS Sports is thinking about not having them up here. I legitimately believe that if Chris Paul doesn't get hurt in the finals, they're going to win the NBA championship. So how would not losing anybody but Trevor Ariza would they drop below that? I don't know how they would think that. Carmelo Anthony obviously is going to be a downgrade on defense, but he's still mellow. He's still able to score, and efficiency is not as important with the Rockets because that's just not the way they play. You still got Chris Paul. You got Carter Williams backing him up. Harden, Gordon, PJ Tucker, Ryan Anderson, Clint Capella's back. This team's going to be right back near the top. But number 2, I got the Boston Celtics. The Celtics' depth right now, you got to think about this. The Celtics went to the Eastern Conference Finals and pushed LeBron and Cleveland to 7 games without their 2 best players, essentially. Without Kyrie Irving, without Gordon Hayward. Those guys come back. The biggest problem that Brad Stevens is going to have is finding out how to play these guys. You got Kyrie, you got Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Morris. They all playing these, you know, this either a wing or some sort of perimeter style position, even though Marcus Morris is a 4. But what do you do? Then you got Terry Rozier. It's a lot of depth, but I do believe Brad Stevens can figure it out, and I think he figures it out, and they go to the finals, and I think they play this team, of course, here. Golden State, the Warriors have to be your number 1, but I will say this. I'm going on record saying this right now. I said this in a stream, too. I do not pick the Warriors to win the championship this year. Are they the best team on paper right now? Absolutely they are. I mean, they got probably, you know, they got maybe 5 Hall of Famers on their team right now, right? But I just know how difficult it is to three-peat, and it's difficult to keep everybody healthy. It's difficult to keep chemistry together, especially the more you win, the more people get used to it. And you got a lot of teams, everybody's hunting this team down, and even every year it gets even more intense. But you'd be a fool not to have them as your #1 in the power ranking. But when this season is ending, when the season ends, I think somebody else is hoisting up the trophy. But that's all I got for you guys today. Like always, I appreciate you watching. God bless and peace.
I'll be weak, I'm rather unique.